And joining me now is Adille Sumariwalla. He's Vice President of the International Athletics Federation. He's also President of the Asian Athletics Federation, one of India's leading sports administrators. Mr. Sumariwalla, how do you see what's happened to Vinesh Phogat? What is your response to what seems from the outside as something that could have been avoided?
So, one, let me tell you, it's a very sad day for Indian sport. Secondly, let me also tell you that these things happen in weight categories, whether it's boxing or wrestling or weightlifting or judo, when you have to fall within a weight category. Let me explain how the system works to clarify to everyone. Number one, you have to be within the weight category. Vinesh used to fight in the 53 weight category. She brought herself down. Antim started fighting in the 53. She brought herself down to the 50. She worked very hard to bring her weight down into the 50 category. The way the system works is, there is a weigh-in in the morning before your bout. Yesterday morning, when she was weighed, she just about made the 50 category. Once the weigh-in is over, you are allowed to eat, drink as much as you want. Remember, she had 3 very, very strong bouts, including the Japanese, who had an 84-0 win, who was unbeaten. Now, so she had to eat between bouts to get her energy and her strength back. When she finished her 3rd bout, she went back to the village, found out she was quite a bit overweight. When that happens, then you get into all of these athletes get into a sauna, get into running. The whole night, the whole team of doctors, including Dr. Pardiwala and team, were with her, trying to ensure she could lose weight, gone below. In the morning, after the whole night, in the morning, when they weighed her, she was overweight by a few grams. I'm told 100, I don't know, because I don't live in the village. I'm on the jury for athletics, so we are not kept in the village or anywhere. Having been overweight, there's only a 15-minute window that is given to you. Now, I'm told the doctor, including, got her to cut her hair, etc., so her weight would reduce. Every single effort was made by the medical team the whole night yesterday. It's unfortunate that she didn't get into the weight category. But also let me remind you that this is not the first time something like this has happened. It's happened in the United States, it's happened in Canada, it's happened in the UK, it's happened in Germany, it's happened in Australia, it's happened in Japan, where an athlete at some point just misses the weight category. Again, remember, Vinesh was always in the higher category, and she has reduced it to her lower category. And therefore, the chances of her not meeting that are very...
I take your point, Adil, and I'm glad you've given us a detailed description. However, Vijinder Singh was with us, and he said it is not unusual for an athlete to also get a grace period. Considering that her bout was much later tonight, she could have got a grace period. He says that there was a possibility if her case had been fought strongly enough. And he used the word conspiracy. Remember, the Wrestling Federation of India chief, Sanjay Singh, is a crony of Brijbhushan Saran Singh, the BJP MP, former BJP MP, who had sexual harassment charges against him by Vinesh and others. So there are these conspiracy theories also being mounted, Adil. Are you dismissing them, rejecting them overnight? Could we have fought harder for her, given her, managed to get her a grace time, or that's not possible?
Let me make things clear to you. There is no conspiracy. Okay, there is no conspiracy. If you're overweight, you're overweight. Number 2, from little that I know of wrestling rules, the only grace you can get is if you are injured. If in the previous bout you got an injury, I am told that is the only way you can get a grace, and she was not injured. I don't think the Indian contingent could have proved an injury, or they would have had to fake an injury. I don't think India is going to fake an injury. I'm sorry. And I will not be any part of that. I've got nothing to be part of anything, but I will definitely not be part of something if we are going to fake an injury. But there is no conspiracy. Whatever is the politics behind it, leave it out. The girl worked very hard. She reduced her weight. She came into 50. She fought her heart out. She got 3 great bouts. She was in the final. It's a technicality, and let's leave it at that. There is no conspiracy. So for God's sakes, don't get politics into sports again. There is no politics, so don't bring it in. And it's only media who actually fuels fire to these conspiracy theories to get TRPs. For God's sake, for the sake of India, for the sake of the Olympics, for the sake of Indian athletes, please don't bring in this conspiracy theory.
Okay, so you're saying there are no conspiracy theories, but do you believe in hindsight? And hindsight, of course, always makes us wiser. All of this could have been handled better, or you're saying there is nothing more that India, our medical team, our officials, especially the wrestling officials, our coaches, could have done?
So let's understand one thing. Wrestling officials have got nothing to do with it. It's the doctors and a guy like Dr. Pardiwala, who's got no affiliation, who's one of the best sports medicine doctors in this country. He has sat up with her the whole night, trying to get her to reduce her weight. His whole medical team has sat up the whole night. So there is no conspiracy. These things happen. The question of trying to handle it better is very difficult. There is no hindsight in this. Because athlete, first of all, she was always in a higher weight category. She came down. So therefore, there was always this chance of her missing the 50 kilogram mark. So for God's sake, don't fuel this theory. For the sake of the country, keep the politics that happened earlier outside. And we will fight as hard as we can here. The team is fighting as hard as it can to see if they, in my understanding, there is no this thing for relaxation for an excess weight. It's like if you break the 100-meter start by 5,000th of a second, you still get disqualified. But it was only 5,000th of a second, but you still get disqualified. Just to give you an analogy. So Rajdeep, please.
That's a good analogy you've given. But let me, in conclusion, therefore ask you, what impact has this had on the team in general? This has been an Olympics of being so near yet so far. We've had 5 Indians who finished 4th. Now we have what's happened with Vinesh. So there's disappointment naturally. There's a bit of anger, of course, laced with it. But with Neeraj throwing the javelin tomorrow, all signs that he could win the gold again. The hockey team's bronze medal match. Are spirits still high, Adil?
I think the spirits are very, very high. I think the team is resolved that the medal Vinesh lost, somebody else will win and some more medals will be won. So the resolve is, we've lost this, we are going to try as hard as we can to make up for the medal that we've lost. And that's the spirit of the team.
That's good to hear. And just to say, when you said that keep politics out of sport, I'm afraid it's not the media which is responsible for that, but I think some of the federation officials, especially in wrestling, are the ones who will have to answer that question. With due regard, Adil, the way the protests were handled last year was clearly less than satisfactory, and the media was only highlighting what the wrestlers were saying.
I'm not getting into that discussion at all. Like I said, that's behind us. That's behind us. We need to keep looking ahead.
Right.
If we're going to keep talking about the past, nothing is going to happen in the future. That's the past. Let's look into the future. Let's fight hard as we can to ensure that we get more medals. This team is ready to fight hard. They don't want to be reminded of what happened in the past or the politics of the past or of whatever federation politics or whose ever politics.
Okay. I'm going to leave it there, Adille Sumariwalla, and I appreciate that you've taken the time off to speak to us and bring clarity to the issue. Thank you so much.
Thank you.